Class 12th, Subject Physics, second chapter, Mechanical Properties of Fluids. From this chapter, let us see the pressure due to a liquid column. So we have to obtain the expression for the pressure due to a liquid column. Let us consider a vessel filled with water, and let us imagine a cylindrical water column produced inside the water. Let A be the area of cross section of this cylindrical water column. H is height of that cylindrical water column. Rho be the density of water, and M is the mass of this cylindrical water column. And therefore here A is area of cross section of the water column, then H is height of water column, then rho is density of water, and M is mass of water column. Now if M is the mass of the water column, then the weight of that water column will be equal to mg, which is acting in the downward direction. This weight mg will act on this cross-sectional area A, and therefore it will give rise to pressure. We know that pressure P is equal to force per unit area, that is F by A, but F is equal to mg, and therefore pressure P will be equal to mg upon A. But the density of any liquid is given by the formula density equal to mass per unit volume, and therefore here in this case mass of that water column M will be calculated as volume of water column into density of water. So mass will be equal to volume into density, and therefore now in this case M will be equal to AH into rho. Now what is actually that AH? AH will represent volume of this cylindrical water column, because volume of cylinder formula is pi r square h. Pi r square is area of cross section A, and h is its height, and therefore volume will be equal to A into h. Therefore M is equal to AH into rho. Now the pressure P will be equal to force per unit area, that is equal to weight upon area, where weight mg of that water column is given as AH rho into G, because M is AH rho and into G will give us the weight, and therefore pressure P equal to AH rho G upon A. A will get cancelled, therefore we will get pressure P equal to H rho G. From this relation it is clear that the pressure of that liquid column will depend upon the height of that liquid column, as rho and G are constant. Now this equation will be valid for both liquids as well as gases. Now let us consider the next point, that is absolute pressure and gauge pressure. Absolute pressure and gauge pressure. In order to obtain the expression for these pressures, let us consider a vessel or a tank filled with liquid. Then let a liquid column of cross-sectional area A and height h, that is equal to x1 minus x2, is produced inside the liquid. So this is the cylindrical liquid column having its area of cross section A and height equal to h, that is x1 minus x2. Now when this liquid column is created there, at that time it will be acted upon by different forces like F1, mg and F2. So F1 is the force acting in the downward direction due to the liquid above this liquid column, So above this liquid column there is this liquid. It will exert force F1 in the downward direction on this liquid column. Similarly, second force is mg, that is the gravitational force, that is weight of that liquid column, which will be acting in the vertically downward direction. Now third force is the F2. It is the force due to the liquid below this liquid column, which will exert force F2 in the vertically upward direction. But now suppose this liquid column is at its equilibrium state, that is, it is at rest, and therefore we can say that the total upward force acting on it must be balanced by the total downward force. Now in this case, the total upward force acting on it is only F2, and total downward force will be equal to F1 plus mg, and therefore we can write the total upward force equal to total downward force, that is F2 is equal to F1 plus mg, equation number 1. But if you consider this geometry, then P1 is the pressure acting at the top of this liquid column, P2 is the pressure exerted on it at the bottom, and we know the relation force is equal to pressure into area, and therefore we can write the force F1 will be equal to P1A and force F2 is equal to P2A, and therefore the above equation will be written as P2A equal to P1A plus mg, equation number 2. So P2A equal to P1A plus mg, equation number 2. Now the mass of the liquid column m, if m is the mass of this liquid column, then the mass of the liquid column m will be given as the density of the liquid, into volume of that liquid column, and therefore we can write here m equal to rho a into x1 minus x2. That will give us the mass of the liquid column, rho a, that is the density, into a into x1 minus x2. A into x1 minus x2 will represent cross-sectional area into height, and it is nothing but the volume, and therefore we can write here mass of that liquid column m will be equal to rho a into x1 minus x2, which is nothing but h, equation number 3. Now from equation 2 and 3, from equation this 2 and 3, putting the value of this equation in this relation, that is putting the value of mass in this relation, we will get P2A equal to P1A plus rho Ag into x1 minus x2, and therefore neglecting a from all the three terms, we can write P2 equal to P1 plus rho g into x1 minus x2. Now this equation number 4, this equation gives the total pressure inside the liquid as well as the atmospheric pressure, and therefore as this equation 4 gives the pressure inside the liquid as well as atmospheric pressure, that is P2 is equal to P1 plus rho g into x1 minus x2. Let P0 represents, let P0 is the pressure, P0 is the pressure at the surface of the liquid. So at the surface of the liquid, let P0 be the pressure acting here instead of that P1. Then we can take the substitutions as x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to minus h, as that height is measured in the downward direction, then P1 equal to 0 and P2 is equal to P. Now if these values are put in the above equation, then we will get P equal to P0 plus H rho g, equation number 5. P equal to P0 plus H rho g, and this equation gives the absolute pressure. The equation 5 gives the absolute pressure, that is P equal to P0 plus H rho G. So from this relation, P represents absolute pressure and P0 will be atmospheric pressure. And therefore, the difference between the absolute pressure and this absolute pressure and the atmospheric pressure, the difference between the absolute pressure and the atmospheric pressure, that is P minus P0, gives the gauge pressure, and therefore gauge pressure will be written as P minus P0, which will be equal to H rho G. So P minus P0 will be equal to H rho G, that is the gauge pressure. Now the atmospheric pressure at a distance d, if you consider any distance d, then at that distance d the atmospheric pressure will be above the liquid surface, that is the atmospheric pressure at a distance d above the liquid surface is obtained by putting the values x1 equal to d, x2 equal to 0, then p1 equal to p, p2 is equal to p0, and rho equal to rho air, that is density of air, in equation number 4. So in this equation we can put all these values, and so that we will get P0 equal to P plus rho air G into D minus 0. Therefore P0 equal to P plus rho air into GD. Then if we write the expression as P is equal to, this P will be equal to P0 minus rho air GD, equation number 6. So this equation will be used to find the atmospheric pressure at a distance d above the liquid surface.